What's up, everybody? It's your favorite seventh sequels favorite nerd, and today we are talking about The Force Awakens, and I am joined by my good friend Adam Russman from Beers and Bolters to help talk about it a bit. So we're gonna
and Nerd Rage Radio.
Well, I was gonna get to that at the end. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, as we always do. We'll keep it spoiler free, kind of keep it about the general sort of concepts rather than specifics, because we don't want to ruin it for anyone. So the good, I'll go first. For me, Han and Chewie are exactly what you want them to be, pretty much throughout the whole thing. And in a lot of ways, it almost feels like you get a Han Solo movie.
Absolutely.
And BB-8 kind of steals the show in a lot of ways. Any concerns you had about BB-8 being a short, round Jar Jar, you can put them to bed. It's not the case whatsoever. I like the general tone. Like it's dark. There's obviously some big bad kind of stuff going on within this universe at this point. I think that the acting overall is good. I think that like the character designs, like the alien designs, all that kind of stuff, all looks good. I think the practical effects work fine. And I think it works well with the digital effects working behind it. Like it's a better marriage. It feels a little bit more gritty. It feels a little bit more Star Wars. What about you?
Well, definitely, I think the acting, hands down. I just thought everybody did a phenomenal job on it. Definitely got some notes there.
Yeah, making sure I get everything on.
It felt to me like a Star Wars movie, even more so than episodes 1 through 3, which was the only new Star Wars movies I've ever seen in a theater, which was pretty good. The tone, the use of lights and darks throughout it were pretty amazing. I concur with the Han Solo. I was worried that we were only going to get a tad, and I got a full Han meal.
Yeah, for sure.
And those classic characters, the classic things in the movie that you know from the other movies, even the inanimate objects still have the character from the previous films that just screams through it. They did a really well job on all the original source material. So thumbs up to JJ. And I have one spoiler, just a little one.
What is it?
Not that many light flares or
lens flares.
Lens flares.
Yeah. There's some in there for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, like they weren't.
It's not
inappropriate. Yeah, they weren't inappropriate. So yeah, good stuff.
For the bad, what I really want to comment on is two things. One, I feel very lost in this world. I don't feel like they took enough time to really ground you in the environment that you're in. They just kind of drop you off and then run like you know what's going on. And sometimes that can be good, but I just didn't necessarily think it was the best choice here. I really wanted to know what was going on outside of the main story of our characters. It didn't have to be like, shots, but, just if they could have discussed it in a dialogue or something, done like a dialogue dump and kind of let us know what was going on. And my other thing is kind of a much more general thing, and like I said, there's no spoilers, so I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, but there are a number of moments, it's not just one, there's a number of moments where I feel like they expect you to appreciate like a big emotional payoff. But I don't feel like the groundwork is laid for it to really emotionally hit home. It just kind of happens, and they expect you to react appropriately to it. But a lot of times I didn't have much of a reaction. Even when, if you were to tell me these things took place, I would say that I would have a huge reaction. I didn't, because it was a payoff. It was like an orgasm with no foreplay, is what it was for me, to speak frankly. And that's my biggest critique of it, is that, like, I don't know much more having come out of this thing. We watched it twice back to back. We went to the 7:40 show and then the 10:40 show.
Yeah.
So we watched it twice back to back, and I don't
know much.
Yeah, I had a lot of unanswered questions walking in, and not many of those questions were answered walking out. So that's in a way, I kind of feel like I was telling him when we were driving home that it feels like a book that should have taken place between episode 7 and episode 8 in a lot of ways for me. Like episode 7 would have been the story before this one and laid the groundwork for everything. This would have been a book, for the most part, minus like one or two big things. And then you would have gone into episode 8 having known what universe you were in and kind of continued to go from there. You?
The bad, I think, for me is it's in a world where I've never had the experiences that I've had with the previous movies in regards of anticipation of what's happening next. And because it's a different type of storytelling, because of the change in director and trying to make it kind of modern, I don't know what's going to happen, of course, in episodes 8 and 9, and I don't know how it's going to change things about episode 7. So it's like one of those things that, we're just at the start of this new trilogy, and there's so many questions, and I know one thing that we kind of predicted, and not to give away any spoilers, but, as many questions as you had before, now I think there's almost more questions.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. You want to keep engaged.
It can be.
But at the same time, it's like you kind of want that payoff, which I feel it's just like, I kind of feel like it's not enough foreplay. And I mean, they're just like,
well, that's what I'm
they
saying.
just unzipped the pants and walked away.
Oh, see, I feel like there's some orgasm moments, but we won't.
There's definitely orgasm moments.
But I agree with you. I think that like it is the movie where like if 8 and 9 play out a certain type of way, you can look back, I think, and maybe appreciate this one more.
Yes.
But if they don't, if it continues at the pace that it's going, I feel
so it might be bad.
I feel like it could.
But then it could be good.
It could be bad.
Could be great.
It could be great. Could be perfect, or it could be terrible.
Yeah, it could just be a movie.
It could just be a movie.
Yeah.
And then ugliness. For me,
I only got one. Let me go first.
Go ahead.
The only, that's kind of a spoiler thing. The only ugly part for me, and it's a huge misogynistic criticism, maybe, is like Carrie Fisher. To me, just didn't look like Princess Leia. I mean, like, and I'm not talking about like she wasn't skinny or young anymore. Like, I understand it's 30-some years later and she's gotten older.
But she didn't have to spend all 30 on a boulevard.
That's right. No, it wasn't even that. It's just like I didn't recognize her. Like, I almost wish they found another actress. I know that sounds blasphemous, but I'm like looking at her. And I'm looking at her. Yeah, her voice isn't the same. It's like she's been smoking too many cigarettes.
But I tell you, it is proof between Harrison and her that cigarettes are much worse for your voice than marijuana.
Yes. Yeah. so there's parts where I'm like, oh here, and I just pull it out, just eject it right out of the movie. I'm like, what's wrong with that thing on your lip? Why are your lips that color? But then later in the movie, it's like it's just the first part I see her. But then later in the movie, it's fine.
Yeah. And I think she could have played it like if like like if you saw her every now and then like take like a flask out and like drink.
Yeah,
whiskey.
like she's reading herself hard
through it.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Then
sign me up.
Yeah, then I'd have been like, wow, like okay, her voice is weathered because her.
Yeah,
life,
I mean, like I'm waiting for like a cigarette to come on scene in a martini glass, and then her to continue talking.
Yeah, a death stick.
Yes.
She's been smoking a death stick.
She should have, went home and thought about her life.
On the boulevard.
So, that's my ugly. That's it. And it's really, it's picky.
Petty.
Picky, petty. I'm going to feel bad about saying it on the internet.
No, and I agree with you to an extent. I love Carrie Fisher, but I
love her too, yeah.
That the years have, like...
It's not, well, I want to correct that. It's not that I think she looks bad. She looked good for being 60 or something. Don't get me wrong. I mean, no, I don't want. We'll say that for Nerd Rage.
Would you still serve her up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it didn't look like Leia to me. You know what I mean? I didn't like if she walked into my house and opened the refrigerator and poured a glass of orange juice and walked out, I'm like, who is this strange woman?
Who is this vagrant?
Yes, it was a strange woman taking my orange juice. So.
Yeah, I think that she she definitely but I still think had she not been in it, you would have felt cheated. Like,
Oh,
I still
absolutely.
think it was the
Absolutely.
right choice to
Yeah.
make.
Should have said this so ugly. I feel guilty.
My
I feel
only,
dirty. I feel ugly.
yeah,
That was
I
some
feel
ugliness.
ugly. I'm
Yeah.
ugly now for
Yeah.
saying that. Yeah, the only other thing that like bothered me is that like there are some moments with Boyega with Finn that I don't like. Oh, and I also think that the way they treated Phasma, like she's just don't have high expectations for her. You know, she's just
They're saving her for
they're saving her for
number 2. Maybe they're not.
Maybe they're not.
Maybe she's not even in the movie.
Maybe she's not.
Just a trailer character.
But the Boyega
It's a
character
toy.
has a couple moments in there, and there's a couple moments the Stormtroopers too. So it's not just him, where it takes me out of the movie. Like it seems like something that Americans would say, rather than people.
It's funny because he's British.
I know. Well, he's British, but born from Nigerian parents. So it's
Oh, wow.
so like. It's just like it's not him. It's just it's the dialogue. He delivers it fine. It's just how it was written. Like this isn't spoilers, but like he does something and he's like, I did that. And I'm like, okay, like yes, you did do that. But you're sounding like you're from a very different movie right now than from a Star Wars movie. It sounds like you're from down the street around the corner rather than a galaxy far, far away. From a long, long time.
We'll be talking about that on Nerd Rage.
Yes. So I just want to touch base with you guys and give you my thoughts. But I'll do like a little score. I give it a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. What about you?
I'm going to give it a solid 8.5. I will say that the one parameter of that is that it's really going to vary on how the other movies fold out. And of course they're going to be great. And I don't think we have any doubts. Hopefully. They can never.
We've lived through bad Star Wars movies.
That's true. They may not even make any more.
The one thing they're going to make money hand over fist. They're going to make more. But like the one thing I want to say that we did talk about is that that we agreed upon is that also it moves very quickly.
Yes.
It's a long film. It doesn't seem long. But my criticism of that is that I think it maybe moves just a little too quickly. I stopped and smelled the roses just a little bit more.
I think it's very effective and efficient storytelling. If there's a great,
I don't think.
I think JJ's.
Well, we're not gonna get into this. So anyway, this is like a bit of a teaser. We are, if you don't know, we do Nerd Rage Radio. It's a podcast. We are going to now talk about it in detail, and we're going to do lots of spoilers. We're going to debate. We're going to argue about our different points of views, and we're going to get into it. You'll find that many things depend on your certain point of view. So if you're interested in a more kind of in-depth discussion about The Force Awakens, be sure to check out Nerd Rage Radio episode 14?
15.
15.
14?
14.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's the latest teen.
Yeah.
We'll be calling it Force Awakens Spoiled Rotten.
Yeah. I like it.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.